I know I've only been recording like one video a month recently, but I am trying so hard. It's just that my daughter keeps changing her schedule, so it's really hard to find time to film and it's hard to find time to edit, and then by the time I do get to those things, the month's already over and it feels kind of pointless for that video. These videos are usually really fast, really easy for me to record. Of course, I'm going to like bite myself in the foot right now because there's a lot that I want to get into this video. One, I want to talk about the books that I read in August. And two, I also want to talk about this really exciting book bingo that I'm going to do in my Discord server, which also has prizes where you can win things like, for instance, I will go on your Amazon and buy a book of your choosing. So yeah, just very exciting. And then three, I also want to talk about my September TBR, which I know we're already in September, but we're only 4 days in. And honestly, like there are some books that I already have to read. So I've already started on those, but I want to add to that TBR because I do feel as though I am getting a lot of reading in lately. Also, I'm so sorry if you can hear the aquarium. I am now looking at it and it needs more water. So let me go do that really fast and put water in so you can't hear it so well. Okay, that is so much better. Now it's less like in your ears. Okay, so first we'll talk about the books that I read in August. I also want to do a little bit of a spoiler free and a spoiler section. So there will be timestamps that you can skip to if you don't want the spoiler section, but we'll start off with the spoiler free stuff. These are the 4 books that I read in August, and we'll just go through them really fast because there's one that I did DNF, but the other 3 were pretty good. I was pretty excited about them. I don't know. They had their like pros and cons for all of them. I think my average rating, actually, let me look at my average rating. My average rating was 2.25. So not a great reading month, not the worst, but definitely not the best. Actually, I don't even know what the worst would have been. Oh, it was May. May, my average rating was 1.8. So yeah. That was a really bad reading month. Let's get into these books. We'll just start off with these 2 because they're really short and easy, but I read the next 2 books in the Shady Hollow series. I am loving this series. I only have 1 book left until the newest one comes out in October. So I will probably read it in September and then I can just go into the one in October when it gets here. I've already pre-ordered it, but I am pretty excited about it. So this one is Mirror Lake. This was book 3. And then this one is Twilight Falls. And this one's book 4. I have noticed that you don't necessarily have to read these in order because they don't really spoil anything except for the first book. And that's really just because it affects the whole town, the first book. So that's the only thing, honestly, that you see a recurrence in the other books. To be honest with you, it could be very interchangeable for the rest of them. It really wouldn't matter because they're different mysteries every single time and they're usually different, completely different characters besides the fox that solves mysteries. And if you didn't know, these books are all about animals. Like, they're all animals. They all live together in this place called Shady Hollow. And there are some mysteries that take place. And there is a fox. This fox, Miss Vixen, works for a newspaper. And she basically just solves these crimes. And yeah, it's really funny. It's really cute. It's really cozy. I do like them. We did read the first one for my book club. And I realized really quickly that you cannot read this over a month. You have to read it in one sitting. Like, it's very important that you do that. Because otherwise things start coming unraveling and you're like, wait, this is not possible. Like, we need to get to this. So yeah, do not read this in a long period of time if you can. Like, they're really short and easy. Like, they're very easy to read. I think this one's the longest that I've read so far, and it was 250 pages. So they're short, they're simple, they're straight and to the point, but you've got to read it like close together. I will say this one took me like a week to get to, but that's just because my daughter kept changing her schedule around and decided when she did and didn't want to go to sleep. So But these are so, so, so good, and they're very cozy. So if you're looking for something that's like a mystery, but you don't really want a lot of brain power, maybe you also have a newborn, like maybe you're in your postpartum era and you just need things that you can pick up and put down and not be too confused and not be too overstimulated. These are perfect. These are like the perfect series for that. I did give both of these 3 stars. It was neither like incredible, like I probably, not even because of my postpartum brain, but I probably won't remember every single detail that happened in this. But also I would still recommend these. Like they still were really fun to read. So I would still recommend these. However, and I might even reread them. However, I just like I wasn't like, wow, this is incredible. This is like the best book I've ever read in my entire life. Like I'm not even reading those right now because those usually take a lot of brain power. So, but 3 stars, absolutely 3 stars for both of them. I guess I can tell you the plots about these because again, I don't think that they would, I'll just tell you like the mystery or yeah, the mystery of them. I won't, cause some of these tropes will spoil the ending, but this one is about, 2 rats, Dorothy and her husband. I can't remember her husband's name right now. Edward. So Dorothy is claiming that Edward is dead, but everybody can see Edward. And so she's like, that's an imposter. That's not my husband. And everybody's like, oh, poor Dorothy. Like she's finally snapped. She's finally just gone over the deep end. But Vera believes her. Vera's the Vox. She believes Dorothy. And so she's trying to figure out who this imposter is. And is it Edward? So I really liked this one. I thought this was like a fun little quick read. I'm sure like given the plot, you're probably like, oh, is it this? But I promise, like go into this one. It's really, really fun. And then there was Twilight Falls. And this plot is about a beaver and an otter who are in love and their parents are very much disapproving of it. For different reasons though. So the beaver's name is Stasia von Beaverpelt and she comes from a very rich family. So her mom's against the union because she does not think that her daughter should marry somebody so lower class. Like the otter is Jonah and he works for a living and that's like, how could you do that? Like, how could you have to like support yourself through working? Like you should be able to not work and still have a lot of money, which is the Von Beaverpelts. So she used to be an heiress, I think, or something like that. I can't remember, but she comes from a very wealthy family. Stasia comes from a very wealthy family. And so her mom's like, you cannot marry this otter, Jonah, because he's a working class citizen. Like, we don't associate with those people. So that's why she's against the union. But then Jonah's dad is like, you can't marry this beaver. She's a beaver. You're an otter. Like that, you can't do that. And so, yeah, very different reasons. And what ends up happening for the mystery is that Jonah's dad, who is very against the union, dies and everybody thinks it's Stasia who killed him. So very good books. I really, really, really loved these. I thought this one was actually a better plot twist because I actually did not see this plot twist coming. But again, that could have been because of my mom brain. So these were good. 3 stars for both of them. Do recommend the series for anybody who's like interested in the series. Do recommend. I also read Thistlefoot. I ended up DNFing this book. I think I gave it 17% before I was like, you know what? I just can't do this. I have been trying to read this book for actually over a year. So I have been starting and stopping and starting and stopping this book. And finally I was like, you know what? It's just not going to happen. Like, I just can't get into it. I just really can't. And the thing is that I love Baba Yaga. Like, I was really excited for this retelling. It just takes so long for you to even care about the main characters. It's all over the place. There's a lot of people being introduced randomly that aren't introduced ever again. Like you can tell, like they're not coming back in the story. And so it just felt like a lot of brain power for nothing. I did make it, I think I made it to chapter 8. I want to say, oh, actually I did make it a pretty good guess. I made it all the way to chapter 8. So I read 70 pages and I feel like 70 pages is enough of a book to realize if you're going to like something or not. And I realized that this is just not it. Maybe it's just the season that I'm in, being postpartum, being like last year I was pregnant the whole year and now I'm postpartum. So I just feel like maybe it's just not not my time for this. I might give it a try again later down the road, like when I'm an empty nester and I have so much time on my hands, but definitely not something to pick up when you're being needed all the time. So I ended up DNFing this one. I did give it a 2-star because I did really like Baba Yaga. So I kind of gave it a 2-star because it's a Baba Yaga retelling, but I did end up DNFing it. And then the final book that I read in the month of August was When the Bones Sing. This was our book for the book club that I'm in. And this book was very interesting. It's about a girl who can hear bones singing, like when they're buried. So she works with the police to uncover these bones. I don't remember what I gave this as a rating, to be honest with you. I ended up giving this a 3-star. So I did really like the book. I think it's really easy to get into and really easy to read. It is set in the Appalachia, I believe. I think these are in the Appalachian, right? Oh, no. It's in Arkansas, which, I mean, I think it's like Lucifer's Creek, Arkansas, but they do have, like, I think people, like, there's a lot of hikers in this book. That's the whole premise, is that hikers are going missing and being found buried. So yeah, they're trying to stop all of these killings, and it's really good. I think that this is perfect for being a YA because you get a lot of that teenage hormonal rage, and that really worked for this book because there's a lot of jumping to conclusions without any evidence, but you also saw the characters learning from their past mistakes of jumping to conclusions without evidence. So you see as they go along, like them trying to find more evidence before they just randomly accuse everybody that they know. So it was good. I really liked the book though. The main character, her name is Dovey, and then she has her best friend Lo, and Lo is a witch. Dovey claims she is not a witch, even though she can hear these bones singing all the time. But she is like, no, I'm not a witch. I'm definitely not a witch. So, but it's really good though. I really like it. She doesn't believe in magic, and Lowen is trying to show her that magic is real. What they have is magic. And so, I don't know. I really liked it. It's like a little bit of a sub-romance plot, but it was like really sweet and cute and very perfect for teenagers, you know, just that, like, I'm your best friend, I'm always going to be here, I will always love you. And yeah, I really liked this. I thought it was great, and I gave it 3 stars primarily because the main character is a very standard teenager, and she's very angsty. And there's like parts where she's like, everybody always stares at me because they don't like me and I don't care. Like, she gives that, like, this is how I wish I was when I was a teenager. This is how, like, I wanted to be. I wanted to come off of that. I wanted to come off as, yeah, I know everybody hates me because I'm different, but I don't care. And I talk back and I bite back. Like, I wanted to be that. I was not that person. I was very shy and timid, and I tried to keep to myself. I also was very loud and boisterous at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you're a teenager, you will understand being shy and boisterous at the same time, because you're kind of trying to put up a front being like, I'm not scared of you, but I am very scared of you. So please, like, be nice to me. Anyways, I did like this book. I did have a good time. I did really like it. So it was fun. And with that, those are the 4 books that I read. I would like to go into a little bit of spoiling now, because if you've read these books, I think it's really fun to go into some spoilers. Do you know what I mean? And if you don't want anything that's spoiled, just go to this time, okay? And then we'll go into like the bookish bingo, and we'll also go into the TBR. So that's very exciting for me. I gotta talk about this first. So Mirror Lake talks about Dorothy and Edward, and it turns out that, spoiler alert, Edward is actually dead. And I think just the way that they went through this, I love the twist of it being an evil twin brother. I think that's so ridiculous, but so fun at the same time. So I really did enjoy that. I kind of picked it up though, like as we were talking, and then sometimes I feel like Vera gets these very significant clues and she just walks away from them, and it's just like, no, I'm not going to even entertain that right now. Like, I'm just going to leave that to marinate in the back of my head. And that's kind of frustrating. But also I just felt like all of the townsfolk, like, you grew up with Dorothy. You can't give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, I understand you also grew up with Edward, but like, you can't give her the benefit of the doubt. Also, I just feel like the police bears, like, I think Chief Braun is still in this, right? I can't remember. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to go look through it, but I think Chief Mead is still in this book, and he's the bear that was the chief, and then Orville eventually runs against him and becomes chief himself. But I just felt like Orville kind of frustrates me because this is book 3. Vera's obviously proven her worth, obviously shown that she can figure things out with very limited clues, and I just feel like Orville should give her more of a chance. I just feel like he is very lacking in that area. And even just her figuring out that Edward is actually his twin brother, his evil twin brother, I feel like she would have come to that conclusion a lot sooner if Orville would just give her a chance and not be upsetting her every 5 seconds. Like, I just feel like they're always fighting. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. That's my like one thing that I'm just like, can you guys please stop? And it happens again in this book. I just feel like they're always fighting. Like, they are always fighting. I am glad that Stasia and Jonah end up getting married in this one. I thought that the ending was actually very unique. I did not see that coming. I should have saw it coming because Vera picks up that book of the magician, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is like a magic trick. But I didn't pick that up. I don't know why, but I just didn't. Maybe my brain is fried. So the fact that Shelby was still alive, I was like, oh. I thought, this is what I thought. I thought that Shelby was definitely dead, but I thought that the hedgehog worked with him on the magic stuff, and so she was able to make it look like it was Stasia and not her. That's what I thought was happening, but then it was like random, like it was just like a red herring the whole time. So anyways, and then I don't really have anything for this one to like spoil because I didn't really read it, but for this one, I really liked that the Lowen and Dovey, I really liked that they worked together, but also like, can you please stop with all of the swearing? There's so many curse words. I was trying to filter them out so that I wasn't reading them. I always try to do that because in my opinion, when I read a curse word, it's very jarring to me because I don't swear. My husband doesn't swear. We have a baby who doesn't swear. She doesn't even talk. But I'm not around a lot of people who swear either. Like, my parents do swear, but we go to church, we hang out with church friends, they're not swearing. So it's so like, I was telling my husband, because we went to the fair, and I was telling him, I was like, wow, I forget that in the world, people do swear a lot. Like, that is a very common thing. But it's so jarring to me. And especially in a YA book, I feel like there's a lot of these words in here that I was like, dude, I don't understand why we have to put so much language. I understand that teenagers do it, okay? I am not saying that teenagers don't curse as much, because they definitely, I did go to school. They definitely do. However, just because they do something doesn't mean it's good and doesn't mean it's right. There are also teenagers who do drugs and smoke cigarettes and stuff like that. It's not good though. We should not be glamorizing that. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not saying it's something that doesn't happen. I'm saying it's something that we probably should not be encouraging, and it feels very encouraged in this book. Also, just like, she's very much against like just religion in general. She doesn't believe there is a God, and if he is out there, then he's obviously not a good God. And I don't know. I don't like when people attack Christianity in general. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to explain this without coming across as like, my faith is so incredibly important in my life. And so it just really hurts me whenever I read it in a book, and it's kind of getting old because I read it a lot, especially in YA. I read it a lot. Also, especially in like fantasy sci-fi, I read it all the time, and it's just kind of one of those things where I just kind of like roll my eyes like, this is no longer original, this is no longer new, this is no longer edgy, this is so mundane and so overused and so overdone that it's just, at this point, it's kind of annoying, and it's just really frustrating whenever I see it in a book. So that was also a thing that I just was like not a cool fan of. Like, that didn't make any sense. I didn't think it was that cool for it to be in this book, especially if it's YA. Like, these are very impressionable people who are reading this. Obviously not me, I'm 35, but like the intended audience, YA, young adult, like they're very impressionable. I remember when I was in high school, I would read all the time and I would take on the personality of the book that I was reading. So when I was reading Harry Potter, I was like very into Harry Potter. When I read Divergent, I was very into being Divergent. When I read like all of those books, like I was really interested in those books at the time, and I became those books. Like, I remember I was reading one book by Chris Pike, and it was about a vampire, and she was just so confident, like exuded confidence. And I will never forget this because it was so cringy. But I used to be a wrestling manager in my high school, and I was needed, our guy was going up on the mat. And so they're like, oh, hey, like we need you to go up so that you can keep score. And so I got up so gracefully, like when, okay, hold on, let me show you. This is so embarrassing. But okay, so like pretend I'm reading my Chris Pike vampire book. So I'm like reading, and then I'm like, hey, our person is going up. You need to go up and like do the scoring stuff. And so I was like this. Like, what? Who does that? Who does that? That is so cringy. That is so awful. Like, that is who I was in high school though. Oh my gosh. That was so awful. Please don't meme that. Yeah, I just think that young ages, you're impressionable. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. Maybe nobody else was impressionable. Maybe it was just me. Let's go into the very exciting portion of this video. I'm so stoked for this. Guys, I haven't created it yet. I'm going to create it this week and hopefully have it up by the time I'm posting this video, which I'm hoping to also post before, like maybe around Saturday. Today's Thursday, so I'm hoping to like have it edited tomorrow and then put it up for Saturday. Here are the bookish bingo section, okay? So these are the rules, and this is the prizes of those rules. The prizes that you'll get. Here is the bookish bingo. I'm so excited for this. So for the bookish bingo, there will be 2 different bingos. And the first one will be the easy bingo. That will have 16 prompts, 16 books, very easy to complete. And anyone who completes that will be able to put a book into the poll for December. This bingo will go from when this video releases all the way until November 30th. So if you haven't joined the Discord server, just go on down into the Discord, join, do the bookish bingo with us. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm also a lot more active in the Discord server than I am on YouTube, so that'll also be fun. The first prompts, or the first board, is gonna be easy. There will be 16 prompts. Like the first 5 people to win the easy round will get to put a book into the bookish poll, okay? But then there is the hard bookish bingo, and that will have 25 very difficult prompts to finish, and for good reason though, because these are really great prizes that I'm going to tell you. So the hard bingo board will have 25 prompts, and you cannot use prompts like books that you used in the easy bookish bingo. Also, you need to have evidence that you read these books, which means you will have to give me a review in the review channel of every book you finished, okay? So those are the rules. There is a review tab. So yeah, you just have to put it in there and I will do all the searching for that for you. You don't have to like make it all neat and simple for me. I will do the hard work. But with these bingo boards. I'm so excited. So the prizes are going to be in third place. If you are the third person to finish the hard bingo board, you will get a book off of your Amazon wish list, which is so exciting. That's awesome. Like, how fun is that? Secondly, if you if you get second place in your bingo board, in the hard bingo board, if you're the second person to complete it, you will still get a book off your Amazon wish list. But on top of that, you will also get a $25 Barnes & Noble gift card. Now, I understand not everybody has access to Barnes & Noble, and also not everybody has access to Amazon. So if you just make a wish list, I will get a book off of that. Like, I think there's like registries that you can do or something like that, and I will just do it that way. Or for like the gift card, let's say you are in, I don't know, let's say you're in the UK and you can't go to Barnes & Noble, I will get you a gift card from like Waterstones or like whatever you guys have, okay? So I'll get you a gift card from there. First place, if you are the first person to complete the hard bookish bingo board, you will get, not only will you get an Amazon book off your wish list, or I'm sorry, a book off your Amazon wish list. You will not only get a book off your Amazon wish list, you will not only get a $25 gift card to a book of your choosing, or book place of your choosing, Barnes & Noble or like whatever, but also the big kahuna. From the books that will be chosen from the poll, like the people that get to put in for the poll, you will get to choose the book. We won't even do the poll. You get to choose the book that we're gonna read in December, which is so awesome. That's so exciting. So definitely a little chaotic, can be kind of scary, but I'm very excited about this. That's gonna be the bookish bingo. I'm so stoked for this. I'm gonna get this done and have it up for you guys. As soon as this video is up, I will have those uploaded as well. So if you were watching this, it's already on the Discord server. What are you doing? Go into the Discord server, join, have fun, make friends. It's gonna be exciting. Now, I really, really, really want to pick a September TBR. I've already told you this, I think in the beginning, I think I said this, but there are some books that I already have on my TBR. I do want to choose 10 books this month for my TBR though. And I have 6 books in my September TBR already, so I want to choose 4 more books. I have this really, really, really fun app. It's called The Reading List. What's really fun is all of my books that I have to read are already in this app. Like, it's already all here. What's a really fun feature is if you shake it, it says choose next book, and you can choose a book. So I'm gonna shake this 4 times and choose a book. There are a little bit of house rules. One, if it's a book that's in the very middle of a series that I have not like gotten to that book yet, then I'm gonna just choose the book that I'm next slotted to read in that series, okay? So I think that's really the only, oh, and second of all, I get to veto 1 book because there are some books in there that I'm just not ready to read just yet. So I get to veto a book of my choosing. Let's shake it. Choose book. Okay. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I might be doing my veto right now because that's one of the books that I was really hoping wouldn't get chosen. I'm gonna veto. Ooh, The Grace Year. Okay, that's really fun. We'll definitely do that. Let me see. I think I have it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, actually this is perfect because I've really wanted to be reading this one. So now I have an excuse. To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. Okay, is this the first or second? Hold on. I found it, and this is actually a special edition of the book, so really pretty. I'm actually excited. This looks very good. I'm excited. I love fantasy. Okay, this is actually really fun. Okay, 2 more. Dress of the Emerald Sea. This is actually right here on my TBR card. Ta-da! Okay, we're gonna add this one. I'm very excited about it. Choose book. Vita Nostra. Found it. It's actually on my TBR card. Cool. Ta-da! Whew. These are the 10 books that I will be reading this September. Let's talk about them. We'll go over the ones that we've chosen together. The first one would The Gracier. I am looking forward to this. This is a YA fantasy. And it says, no one speaks of the Gracier. It's forbidden. In Garner County, girls are banished for their 16th year to release their magic into the wild so they can return purified and ready for marriage. But not all of them will make it home alive. Tierney James dreams of a better life, but as her own Gracier draws near, she quickly realizes that there's more to fear about the Gracier than the brutal elements and poachers in the woods. Their greatest threat may very well be each other. With sharp prose and gritty realism, Kim Liggett's The Gracier examines the complex and sometimes twisted relationships between girls, the women they eventually become, and the difficult decisions they make in between. This sounds great. This is perfect. I'm really excited about this one, and I have been wanting to read this for a while, so I'm glad it's on the September TBR. The next book that was chosen was To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. And this one is, for as long as Yang Ruing has been alive, the empire of Erlang has been occupied by Romans, who mercilessly defeated the magic of her people. Now the invaders' advanced science, technology, and military make them gods. But Ruing is special, having been blessed by death and born with the ability to pull life out of mortal bodies. When Antony, the second prince of Rome, uncovers Ruing's power, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will be protected. Can Ruing trust this prince who promises of a better world, make her heart ache, and whose smiles make her pulse beat faster? Are the evils of their agreement really in the service of a much greater good, or will she betray her entire nation to guard those she loves most? Okay, this sounds really good. I really like this. It sounds very interesting, very intrigued. Next that was chosen was Tress of the Emerald Sea. I'm gonna be honest, I always thought this said Trees of the Emerald Sea, but it's Tress, and it makes more sense. The only life Tress has known on her island home in an emerald green ocean has been a simple one, with the simple pleasures of collecting cups brought by sailors from faraway lands and listening to stories told by her friend Charlie. But when his father takes him on a voyage to find a bride and disaster strikes, Tress must stow away on a ship and seek the sorceress of the deadly Midnight Sea. Amid the sport oceans where pirates abound, can Tress leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where a single drop of water can mean instant death? Oh, that's very exciting. Okay, we're loving this. We're loving it. And then last but not least is Vita Nostra. While vacationing at the beach with her mother, Sasha Samokina meets the mysterious Farid Kozenikov. I'm not sure how to say these. I am not Russian. Under the most peculiar circumstances, the teenage girl is powerless to refuse when this strange and unusual man with an air of sinister directs her to perform a task with potentially scandalous consequences. He rewards her effort with a strange golden coin. As the days progress, Sasha carries out other acts for which she receives more coins from him. As summer ends, her domineering mentor directs her to move to a remote village to use her gold to enter the Institute of Special Technologies. Though she does not want to go to this unknown town or school, she also feels it's the only place she should be. Against her mother's wishes, Sasha leaves behind all that is familiar and begins her education. As she quickly discovers the Institute's special technologies are unlike anything she has ever encountered. The books are impossible to read, the lessons are obscure to the point of maddening, and the work refuses memorization. Using terror and coercion to keep the students in line, the school does not punish them directly for their transgressions and failures. Instead, their families pay a terrible price. Yet, despite her fear, Sasha undergoes changes that defy the dictates of matter and time, experiences which are nothing like she has ever dreamed of, and suddenly all she could ever want. There's some magic in this. Very exciting. Okay, this sounds good as well. I'm so excited. This is actually a Russian author. I think this is originally a Russian novel and it was translated into English. So I'm excited. It's giving Atlas 6, you know, but not Atlas 6, but like Atlas 6 vibes, you know, like magic school, like all that stuff. That's what it's giving. The books that I already knew were going to be on my TBR is Six of Crows. I'm reading this in a different book club, not my own, but a different book club. And it's a book that I've wanted to read for a really long time. So I need to get to it. Okay. One of my friends honestly was like, hey, you got to read this month because I just finished it and it's incredible. And so it's perfect. It's in a book club. She wants me to read it. We're going to read Six of Crows. I already said in my like books that I read in August, I already said that I was going to read this in September. So we're going to read this in September. This is Summer's End, and it is the 5th book in the Shady Hollow series. Again, I'm very excited to get to this and then go into October ready for the 6th book. Oh, I probably should tell you what these books are about, huh? Yeah, okay. So Six of Crows is about a heist, and yeah, it's 6 outcasts and 1 heist. I don't really know anything else about this, but I heard that it's a masterpiece and that we have to read this one. This one is, let's see. Oh, okay. So this one is, a corpse was found and they think that Lenore, her best friend Lenore's sister, was involved. So Vera has to clear her name. I'm trying not to give away too much because again, I know some people like to read it in linear. It is very much at the end of the series. So just in case you don't want to like know too much about book 5, it is about Lenore's sister. But that's pretty much it. Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you. Not Quite Dead Yet. This is by Holly Jackson. This is a new release. I have actually already finished this. I finished this in 1 day. It's a very short, easy read. I read it in about 4 hours because I was nap trapped. But this one is about Jet, and she basically gets attacked on Halloween night, and the doctors are like, hey, you're going to get a brain aneurysm and then it's going to burst because of where you got attacked. So she has to solve her own murder before this brain aneurysm bursts, and the doctors gave her about a week left. So she has to solve this mystery in a week. And I will say nothing. I will say nothing is what I will say. I will say nothing. But yeah, it was a book on my TBR. I already read it. It was a buddy read that I had to do with a friend. I didn't have to do it, but I did do it with a friend, and I have finished it already. I only finished it. Took me 1 day. We have 2 other books that we're buddy reading, and this is the one of them. This is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. I've already started this. I am on chapter 26. So I've been alternating between reading it like the book, physical book, and reading it on my Nook. So I am 60 pages in. It's very short chapters, 26 chapters, and I'm already 6 pages in. Like they're super short chapters. They're like 1 to 2 pages long, but it's really good. It really throws you in there, and it's really reminding me of Kristen Hanna, who did a little blurb on it. So I really liked it, or I'm liking it so far. I haven't finished it, but I'm really liking it so far. And it's about, what I can tell, it's about a boy who's named Patch. He's blind in one eye, so he wears an eye patch. He loves pirates because of it. And he and his best friend Saint, she is this like very eccentric. She has bees. She's really interested in bees. She loves books, all this stuff. So they're best friends. Patch actually goes missing trying to save the wealthiest girl in their town from being kidnapped by this guy. And it is assumed that he is dead now because they can't find him. It's been 4 days and she's very scared, but she is determined to find out what happened to her best friend. So it's very gripping, I will say that, and a little disturbing. There's a lot of creeps in this. It is also a historic fiction, I guess you would classify it as, because it's set in 1975, but it goes through the years. Like it ends in the 2000s. The last books that we're gonna buddy read together is Apples Never Fall. And one of our friends have already started the audiobook on this and she's really liking it. But the Delaney family love one another dearly. It's just that sometimes they want to murder one another. And I think there is so Joy goes missing. Savannah is nowhere to be found. The police question one person who remains, Stan. But for someone who claims to be innocent, he, like many spouses, seems to have a lot to hide. 2 of the Delaney children think their father is innocent. 2 are not so sure. But as the 2 sides square off against each other in perhaps their biggest match ever, all of the Delaneys will start to re-examine their shared family history in a very new light. Okay, this is exciting. We love a good mystery. I think I have read a different Liane Moriarty book. I can't remember. I think I read, or no. 9 Perfect Strangers. I saw the show, movie, whatever it was, with Nicole Kidman. Yeah, that was really creepy. But anyways, this is the other buddy read. Yay! And then the last book that I am definitely going to read in September is Calabasas. And you're wondering, why are you definitely going to read it? How do you know you're definitely going to read it? Because it's our book club pick for September. This is the club book that we're going to read in September. Very exciting. I've heard so much about this. So much good, so much bad. So I'm very interested to see how it works out. I'm going to be honest. I don't like R.F. Kuang's writing in general. I can never really get into her books. It always feels like, you know, those people that you like come across and they're like, they start, majority of their sentences start with, not to be mean, but like that's how it feels reading an R.F. Kuang book. It just feels like every sentence starts off with, not to be mean, but, or I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just blunt. I'm just very honest. I did not want to read this book, but it did get chosen. So it is what it is. That's what happened. But I'm going to give it a try. I also don't think I'm a dark academia girly so much. So we're going to give it a try. We're going to see how we feel. You can't be mad at me if I don't like this because I already told you I'm not a huge fan of her writing. These are all of the books that we are going to be reading in September. Very, very exciting. I'm super stoked. This has been an hour recording all of this and it's going to take me probably an hour to edit all of this. She's still napping. She probably will wake up in about 20 minutes, so I'm not going to be able to edit this just yet, maybe tonight. But I am very excited for September in general. These are a lot of books that I'm excited to get to read. I've already finished one of them. And yeah, I think it'll be a good reading month. I'm very excited. Anyways, I think that's all. I would love for you to join the Discord server. I would also love for you to hit subscribe, watch any other future videos that I put up. What else would I love? I would love for you to like the video. I would love for you to leave a comment to say like, yeah, I'm joining the Bookish Bingo, so excited. There's just so much that I would love for you to do. I would love for you to watch another video. And yeah, anyways, that's all. I'm gonna go now and maybe get some lunch before she wakes up, and so that I can feed her when she wakes up. Okay, bye guys, love you, bye.